Evening guys, welcome back to the old YouTube channel. Tonight's a little bit different. Yes, I have got an item of clothing to talk about. You've probably seen it before, but I want to go through that. Basically tonight's YouTube is all about a little bit about lockdown, a little bit about how I'm trying to get through it, and a little bit about what I've been creating. So I'm sitting here with a few things I've created over the past few weeks. Literally all these things, actually it's probably been about 3 weeks here, because I've got a leather jacket I want to talk to you about. I posted this leather jacket on my Instagram, and this is probably one of the first things I did actually physically. Obviously all my work always is more computer based and digital, so it's quite nice to actually break the mold and do something where you can physically see it in front of you, and that's what I've really enjoyed about doing these little things in lockdown. So it's a little bit of a catch up, it's a little bit of a chat. Yes, you will get to see the old biker jacket I painted, and I've also painted a really cool canvas I want to show you as well. But it's a little bit of a catch up, so there'll be a blog on tonight, and I think this week it's going to be about the canvas, and next week it's going to be about my painted biker jacket. So there is like things going on in the blog, but yeah, I'm just trying to think what lockdown's like for me. It's pretty intense. Obviously I have my days where I don't do anything at all, like everyone, and I'm not trying to come across here and say, oh, you've always got to create stuff all the time, because literally no one can do that, and I don't do it either. But it's just nice when I have got that creative high. It's actually nice to look back and go, all right, this is what I did at this time, so this is why I've done this canvas, and this is what's on my blog tonight. I know you won't be able to see it all, so I might have to hold it back from the camera rather than to the camera. But yeah, so obviously Living in a Ghost Town, the Rolling Stones song, I absolutely love it, and I heard the song and it's grown on me so much. I loved it the first listen, but now it's an absolute tune. So I thought, right, what sums up this isolation period more than that song? So this is why I painted this sort of canvas. So I've got all the, obviously, band members. Some of them look better than others. I would probably say the worst one is Charlie. It still looks a little bit like Charlie, but I mean, it's not the best. Keith and Mick's my favourite. I did Ronnie first, and I think Ronnie did end up pretty cool. I've actually signed it, but to be honest, my writing's so bad you can't actually see what my name is. So if you still know me as the Unidentified Rocker, the signature is there in the bottom left-hand corner of the picture. But Mick's probably equal favourite to Keith. So I think I've not painted in ages. I didn't sketch it out. The only thing I sketched out on here was the lettering, because I like to do my lettering quite well. And it's alright, the lettering's not the best part of this, but I just thought I'd paint this because, first of all, I want to hang it somewhere really cool. Maybe not anywhere at the minute because I'm just back at my parents' house, but hopefully when I move out again, this will be pride of place, and it will be one of those talking points of, oh, what did you do in isolation when we were stuck in for all that time? Oh, well, I've painted this picture. So it's quite a nice little thing to look back on. I absolutely love it. I've got a little wine glass in there, cigarette, little sort of London skyline setup. Obviously the logo in the top left hand corner and a rainbow. So that obviously there's little things hinting towards different things in isolation. Rainbow obviously to, you know, keep the face stay together, support the NHS, all that, stay in, stay safe. And obviously Living in a Ghost Town, which was released under the lockdown. And I just think, yeah, it's really cool. So all these, all the faces, I just freehand sketched. I made so many mistakes. Yeah, it might look alright in a minute, but there's so many layers and layers and layers of paint on this canvas. I just thought I'd just do it all freehand. So yeah, I'm really proud of it. I think it's quite cool, and it took me a good week or so to do. So I actually really enjoyed doing it, and I'm just thinking creatively, it's quite a really nice thing to do. So instead of just editing something on a computer, editing a video, showing it just on someone's phone or on a laptop, it was nice to I can put this somewhere and I can physically hang this and you can see it in real life. And I think that's probably one of my favourite parts of doing something creative, where it's not just a film or it's not just a picture. You can physically touch it, see it in this dimension type of thing. So I really like doing that. And that's what my blog's about tonight. There's a couple of classic photographs of me trying to look like I'm painting a really important picture. But yeah, I took a few photographs when I was painting it on a tripod, and just, you know, general chit-chat isolation. I've not actually wrote the blog yet, but I want to see what I want to... No pressure, that's what I've learned mostly about this time. So I want to share some little tips and, you know, tips and tricks with anyone who's feeling down because they're not doing anything, or down because obviously it's just a tough time. There's no, I'm trying to think, there's no pressure anymore. Like I don't feel bad if I just sit on my ass all day. So that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned. So yes, it is quite nice to do something creative and actually physically do something with your day. But then I try and work like Monday to Friday still, and either that's emailing brands or like trying to do my own videos, making up like things in my head and then physically trying to do the video. And if I've got nothing on, that's when I just do videos with myself. So obviously at the minute there's quite a lot of videos just with me being like a focus, and that's basically because I've got nothing else to do for no other brands. It's been nice these past couple of weeks, obviously working with a few different brands. TIGHA from Germany, and there was Mr. Wood London. I've really enjoyed like physically getting something and like doing a blog again, which has been really cool, and getting some photographs. But yeah, I've been making up quite a lot of things just for myself, so like just setting myself little tasks, and I think that's the best thing to do. So I'm still doing like obviously my Monday to Friday work thing, but I always do running on the morning, because I changed it, because I used to go running on the evening, but then I found myself getting like quite like, you know, like up for the day, but it was the evening, so all I did was like, you know, not potter around, have a drink and go to bed. So I changed that to the morning, so I get up, got a routine. That's probably one of the best things what I've found so far, like quite a good routine, gets you through, gets you ready for the day. And if you do it same day in, day out, it's perfect. So do my running on the morning, ready for the day, start work about 9, 10ish, go in the shower, blah blah blah, and then get cracking with my little to-do lists. I've always done lists, and I find lists one of the really good positive things about lockdown. Like if you've got a list, if you've got something to work through, if you can physically see it, it's really nice to get the satisfaction of ticking something on the list. So even the little things like done the run, I do meditation as well, 15 minutes a day. It's only little, but 15 minutes every single day, and I've done it since January the 1st. So after not, say obviously the 2nd of January, I was like, oh, I've only done it a day, who cares? But now it's got such a big, like I've done it for months and months and months now, it's like I cannot let that go, I can't let it down. Yesterday it was quite funny. I've always wanted to speak French. I actually did go to French lessons like a couple of years ago, but I only went to a few. But I found an audio CD and a booklet, and yesterday I started French lessons. So I'm not going to run through any French just yet on YouTube, but I will hopefully soon, just to like tell people I'm doing it, and then if someone goes, oh, you still doing it? I'll be like, yes, I'm still doing it. So yes, it's hard because I only started yesterday, but I know as my running and as my jogging, if I keep on doing that every single day and keep it up, it's going to be harder and harder not to do it. So obviously the first couple of days, the first couple of weeks are the hardest because you've not done it for that long, but I want to try and do 1 or 2 hours a day. I did 2 hours yesterday, and I picked up quite a bit, and it's really good. I've always wanted to do it. So creating and learning like quality little things. I mean, this is the time where if you really want to do something and it's been on your like mind for years and years and years, like French has for me, finally I've got round to doing it, and I want to smash it. I really want to do it, and that's another thing. If obviously when all lockdown's over, I'll be like, oh, this is on the wall, and maybe I can describe it in French. If I could do that, I feel very proud of myself. But yeah, another one, obviously I've always wanted to paint a leather, so this is a leather I've got from All Saints. I actually described this one on my YouTube probably last year. So it's the Wick biker jacket. It's got a couple of like badges, Rolling Stones badge, a nice little really cool matchstick on fire I actually found, and a really cool Dire Straits guitar badge, which is just fallen off. Give me 2 seconds. It's falling off, man. There he is, he's back on. So yeah, obviously the back of this jacket I really love. It took me quite a long time to sketch out, obviously the design. I couldn't really do this freehand because this is like my font, my lettering. So it took us a while, but it was quite therapeutic. It took my mind off things, and that's probably one of the best things painting does. And like when you physically sit down and go, all right, I'm gonna smash this. I found it with French yesterday. It was just like, it totally relaxed my mind. I was focused on something and nothing else mattered in the world. All my problems sort of washed away. So yeah, I'm really proud of how this turned out. Obviously I was debating to put the hat on the bottom, and that was like sort of my branded jacket, but obviously I did the little Instagram poll. So many people had something to say about that poll. It was quite nice to know. So I didn't use the hat on the bottom because someone, obviously my mate Kenny's graphic designer, and you've got to go on what he says. He said less is more, and that's sort of just like everyone was pretty much saying that. So I was like, right, okay, less is more, and probably more often than not I'll be wearing a hat on the top anyway. So 2 hats on one back look a bit sort of, you know, like full on. So I just went for the cool lettering, and I think it turned out really, really well. So I really want to do a blog post on this as well, but I want to shoot in the dark with a flash. So hopefully that's on my to-do list for next week. But yeah, so keep myself busy, keep myself to do lists. It's nice to have a blog. Obviously, maybe you're sitting there, you've always wanted to start a blog. This is literally the perfect time to start one. If you've got a camera, if you've got you can go on Blogger, you can get a free blog template, you can sort of mix it up, you can go on Wix, you can go on so many different website building ones. It doesn't have to be paid for, you can do it for free if you've got an iPhone. You can set up a little light system thing in your room. 100% now is the perfect time. If you've always wanted to start a blog, start a blog. Any little things like that, I think, just to keep, you know, your brain ticking over, and having something to focus on in this time is super special. So yeah, I've done a couple of things. I also want to talk about my video. So recently I've been setting myself tasks and sort of just making things up and going, all right, okay, today I want to do a video on sort of this brand, or try and take some, you know, style from this video, which I know this brand does, and send them something. So I've been doing that. So I want to show you, I've not actually sort of prepared this bit in YouTube, but I know I've been doing a lot of story formats. So obviously you might not get this, but instead of the landscape one you can post on the feed, I've been doing quite a lot of stories. Stories are quite hard because I can't post stories on the feed because they're a different dimension. So I want to show you a couple which I've been, you know, sort of excited to share, where they're just clicking around, excited to share with you on YouTube. So basically I think I want to stick, since I can only get it it would look odd dimensional, I'll whack 3 up and then you can see what I've been up to. I want to say, I did a one the other day and it was sort of everything I've done since January, so January till now, and there's a bit of me mixed in there. There's a couple of shoots I've been doing. Where I can't actually show you because there's a few projects I've had which quite disappointingly have fallen through. So even when I've thought of oh, this is it, this is perfect, this is my next big thing, I've got something after working so hard, it's just fallen through, and it's weird. So it's even now, when, especially after I've changed jobs, did the freelance thing, and I was like, right, okay, it's going really badly. Then it started to pick up, and I was like, right, finally, I've got something, and you're getting somewhere. And then again, it's just gone like that. So it's I've had quite a rocky couple of months, really rocky, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm still gonna go. Nothing can get me down. I think that's the best thing about me, and that's what obviously a few of my mates, after going, all right, it won't work, nothing's happening, they're like, stick it out, man, stick it out. Nothing happens overnight, which I've always told myself. But sometimes I just you know, getting reminded that nothing happens overnight. Things get worse before they get better sometimes. So yeah, I'm still going at it, still trying, and that's the best thing you can do, because if you give up, there's not a chance. But if you keep on going, there's always a chance. So that's what's getting me through. So I'm still doing my videos, still really enjoying them. Still, obviously I go through dips and highs. Now I want to say I'm sort of in the middle, projecting on high, but it might change next week, who knows? Hopefully not. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on YouTube, explain a little bit about how I've been creating, what little tips obviously I want to share with you, and you know, just a general little chit chat, blog on, trying to get back in the swing of things with YouTube, because the first few months I let myself down. And this is it, like if you keep on that thing, it's like if you keep on going doing the same thing as you were doing, it's never going to change. So change it, do it, and you'll feel better. And that's pretty much what I've been doing, because all these little tasks and all these little weeks that go by and all the little ticks I can put on my little lists, it does make you feel better at the end of the week. And if you routines, ticks, better lists, blah blah blah, it's all good. So I'm hoping you're all safe, hoping you're all sort of like staying, you know, mentally strong, and hopefully we'll be out of this and we'll be drinking a nice crisp cold pint. I'm going to say in the sun. Hopefully it'll still be summery when we do come out of this, but yeah, keep strong, stay safe, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.